What innocent question that someone asked you, crushed you a little? When will we dig up Dad? Asked by my almost 5-year son. He's never met him as Dad died 3 months before birth. This goes along the question, when will Dad stop being dead? My 4-year-old died. It amazed me how many times little kids, of family friends, have to be reminded. Same here. The hardest part was telling my wife repeatedly, as she was pretty out of it on pain meds, related to the same accident. I'm so sorry, friend. That's horrific. A friend looked at me and said, I know we've talked about it before, but how did you break your nose? I've never broken my nose, this is just how it looks. Wow, Owen Wilson. Mom asked me, who are you? When I visited her recently. She has dementia. Not a question, but my 8-year-old niece once remarked, you don't laugh anymore. Edit, this was over a year ago when I was having a rough time, but I'm doing much better now. Thank you all for your support and for sharing your stories. I wish you all the best. Thanks again for the gold, kind strangers 20. My nephew once asked me, Uncle Fusronasan, why do you look so sad like damn kid? I was playing doctor with a 3-year-old girl once. I had been struggling with depression a lot lately at the time, so when she asked me what was wrong today, I told her sometimes I just get sad. She had a clipboard with a sheet of square paper stickers on it. She nodded thoughtfully, scribbled something on her paper, then ripped off a sticker and stuck it to my shirt, saying, here's a duck for you, he'll make you happy. I still have that little pink duck sticker. I put it inside of my laptop, above the keyboard. He didn't cure shit, but he does make me smile. That duck didn't spend 8 years at Happy-Go-Lucky Institute for you to drag him like that. Guys, stop giving me medals, that doc is really a quack. I worked in retail when I was younger and people would always be like, oh, do you have any ideas for Father's Day? Why did you get your dad? My dad committed suicide when I was 16. They had no way of knowing that, but damn if it didn't hurt. I've lost both my parents now, but Mom is a kid. Yes, I'd love to make a Mother's Day card in school a couple of months after she ducking died. Thanks. Fuck. I always thought it was so ducked up to do Mother's Day stuff in school. I am so lucky with my parents, they are alive and awesome, but I had friends whose parents were shitty dead and always felt so bad during those Mother's Day tributes. It's such a mixed bag for me. I hated doing it until I got a stepmother, then she turned out to be abusive, so I hated it again. But I've loved getting the school stuff from my son. They were my favorite gifts. Hess an adult now, so no more funny little cards Hess painstakingly made or weird crafts. I agree though, it's painful on either holiday for many. I don't know what the answer is. When I was 13, my mom got a divorce from a man who I can only refer to as a step monster. I worked all summer to save up money since we didn't have a lot and I was worried we wouldn't have enough to pay the bills. I ended up having a few dollars left over and wanted to buy my mom a gift, and she mentioned she needed a new watch for her birthday. I went to the jeweler and got a $100 gold Citizen Evo Drive watch. It was functional and it looked really nice. When I gave it to her, her first response was, thanks honey, did it come in silver? I was crushed. Insult to injury, she started dating a guy around the same time and he bought her a crappy silver watch. She ended up wearing his over mine 18 years later and it still hurts when I think about it. Edit, I didn't realize this was going to resonate with so many people. Thanks everybody for the kind words, but I promise I didn't let it ruin my life. Just one of those memories that sticks with you. If when I ever have kids, I know to never brush off their gift. I can't imagine having my child feel the same way I did. As for all the awards, I laughed to see so many silver awards due to the irony. Don't worry, they'll keep them all. As a mom, I think what you did was so beautiful and I'm sorry your expectations weren't met. I love that you did that for your mom, and if I was your mom I would treasure that watch for the rest of my life. Hopefully one day your mom's eyes will open and she'll see that her children are the most important, most special people on earth. You're a good egg. Me too. I would have treasured that. That's huge and I'm sorry that happened to you. When me and my dad and my sister were driving to another town to get away from my mom so we could eat without getting yelled at, stuff thrown at us, my sister asked why mommy was so mean, and my dad had to simplify to her level that her mom was an alcoholic. She was 6. Edit, oh shit, this blew up THX I guess. Rough night last night? Usually asked with a big smile. I was asked that all the time when I was younger because I had a really obvious tremor. Thing is, I did not drink or do drugs at all, and I had no idea what was wrong with me. I was eventually diagnosed with Graves' disease and treated for it, but I still have a bit of a tremor. I had hyperthyroidism, then underwent radioactive iodine treatment and am now hypothyroid. My lips were often blue and I was always pale and cold with sunken-looking eyes until we got my medicine on track. People asked me all the time if I was sick because I looked like I was dying. Thyroid shit really ducks you up, and when you try to explain it, no one knows what a thyroid even is. Coworker innocently asked, who does the cooking at your house? I had very recently separated from my wife and was living alone. Chef Boyardee, sometimes ms.calendar. If I'm lucky, Betty will bring by a treat or two. I also sometimes stop by Aunt Jemima's place for a late breakfast. I stopped talking to the Gordon's fisherman when he started calling me a gay fish. I went to get a haircut for my fiancé's funeral. It was Friday. He had died on Tuesday. My stylist, all bubbly, said, "It's been a while. The last time I saw you, you were just about to move in with your boyfriend. How's it going?" The word stuck and I kind of rasped it out. Honestly though, her reaction was so wonderful. She was behind me, and just put her hands firmly on my shoulders and looked me in the eyes in the mirror. No shock, no stupid platitudes, just silent, genuine empathy. The rest of the haircut was pretty quiet, but she did everything so lovingly, and didn't make a big deal out of it when I cried a little. That is a beautiful, touching story. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for saying that, friend. How are you handling everything, my notary public, who also happens to be my boss while notarizing my divorce paperwork? Completing a divorce packet with no help from an attorney can be a real pain in the ass, but at least it kept me focused on the bureaucratic bullshit nonsense part of it rather than the fact that my 9-year marriage was ending. Turned out that as soon as someone asked me sincerely how I was doing, the answer was not at all well. I went back to my desk and had a panic attack. She gets half of that panic attack, you know? Lamau, I wish. Why don't you ever go out? Well, because I don't have anyone to go out with. Damn. How's your brother doing? Haven't seen him in a little while. He passed away 2 years ago. That wasn't very fun. Edit. I appreciate everybody reaching out to me, it means a lot. Edit 2. I'll add to my story further by saying a close second place would be, why wasn't your dad at your brother's funeral? Life sucks sometimes. There's an asshole in my neighborhood that asks about my deceased father sometimes. I really hope that man has dementia. Edit. Whoa, I wasn't expecting so many replies. 1. I don't wish he has dementia, I'd rather think he has it because it's super cruel to ask that more than once. 2. He is old, yeah, but he does a normal life just like always and seems perfectly healthy. I know his daughters and they wouldn't leave their father alone if he had dementia. 3. He is probably an actual asshole, but the chances of him asking me this again are very low due to the fact that I actively avoid him because I hate his guts. Do you have dementia? I don't know. My 5-year-old cousin asked me where Grandpa was when we were getting ready to head to his funeral. Everyone went silent and we just kind of stared at each other until my dad managed to distract her. It was brutal. Edit. Based off of some of the comments here, I feel like I should elaborate on this. This was the first family death I've experienced, so I barely knew what to say to older children, much less a 5-year-old. We didn't want to tell her anything because we didn't know what her parents told her, so we felt like it was best to change the subject. That being said, watching children react to seeing the body at a funeral is probably one of the worst feelings I've ever experienced. My 5-year-old nephew did this to my grandma at my grandpa's funeral. Asked her, "Did Grandpa die?" It was an innocent question and he was genuinely curious, and I guess no one had talked to him about it. My grandma hugged him and said, "Yes, sweetie, he died." In my experience with a 4.5-year-old, this approach is correct. Trying to say someone is sleeping and won't wake up is dangerous to the child's emotions. I told my son that his Mimi died. She was very old and she was ready to live with God in heaven. We are Catholic. Trying to say things like, "they went away" or "they went to sleep," I think can cause more harm than good. People, including young kids, want to be told the truth. The best approach is to be real with those who can at least somewhat grasp the concept. Absolutely right. We've seen this in sociology and psychological studies, not only with children but with animals as well. The more baby talk and half-truths we give, then the slower a child's comprehension of the world develops. The best way to help our children develop strong, stable, Healthy minds is to talk to them plainly and honestly. We don't have to deliver harsh truths, but hiding or sugarcoating the truth just makes things more difficult.